Hello, my name is Samantha, and this video is for the class General Chemistry 1 at Doane University. The assignment that I will be completing in this video is the interactive advanced concept presentation number 6. In this experiment, I will be demonstrating how to make a pasta rocket and why this is possible. The materials that I will be using in this experiment are 3% hydrogen peroxide, activated dry yeast, a mason jar with a hole in the lid, penne pasta that I've cut the end off of so it can stand on top of the lid. There's the penne pasta that I used, and then a lighter. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this jar up with some of the hydrogen peroxide, and I'm going to do that off camera. I added about a quarter of the way up of hydrogen peroxide, and then I'm going to add a teaspoon of activated dry yeast to this. That should be good. And then I'm going to seal this quickly with the lid, and then I'm going to mix it a little. And then I'm going to place the noodle on top and light it on fire. I will do it off camera. As you can see, there's a little flame right there. There you go. So I lit the noodle on fire off camera, but it was doing a little bit of flame. I'm gonna see if I can relight it off camera. So I wasn't able to relight it, but the pasta noodle did light on fire for a while, which caused a flame to come out of the top like a rocket. The pasta noodle is the fuel for the rocket, while the hydrogen peroxide and yeast combination provides the oxygen, which is used as an oxidizer source. The hydrogen peroxide and yeast combination catalyzes to become oxygen in order to aid in the rocket fuel flame. This is an example of a hybrid rocket, which means that its fuel source is solid, which is the pasta noodle, and the oxidizer is of liquid form, which is the hydrogen peroxide and yeast combination. Overall, I do believe that this experiment was successful. I believe that it could be more successful, though, if we did use more hydrogen peroxide and yeast and could have sealed the outside edges here a bit more before lighting the noodle on fire. That would have given the rocket fuel more fuel and oxygen to use. But I do believe that it showed how to make an at-home pasta rocket and why this occurs. I'm going to try this one more time in order to show you if it can work or not properly. So first I'm going to add the hydrogen peroxide again. I'm going to do that off camera. I did add it up to here this time. And then I'm going to add a teaspoon of yeast again. And now I'm going to put the lid on tightly. I'm actually going to use this lid, and then I'm going to put the noodle on as well. Okay, I'm trying this again, seeing if it'll work. There it goes. So it's working a little bit better this time, but still is not working that well. I'm gonna try shaking the yeast up a little bit. There's a little bit, then it just goes right back out. I think that the problem is that the jar is too small and the amount of gas is not great enough to create like bigger lasting flame. That could also be a problem. because it just lights and then goes right back out, as you can see. I'll try it again. You can kind of see it when it lights. Kind of jumps to the end of the noodle. There it goes, and then it goes right back out. Yeah, so I think that the problem is that the noodle's diameter isn't big enough, and also not enough hydrogen peroxide and yeast again. It could also be the seal that's wrong. It could be that the gas is escaping in other areas, or that the hole is too big and it's allowing the gas to escape underneath the noodle here. But what should be occurring is that the flame should be catching on fire and lighting the whole noodle down, creating more of a rocket looking display. But I do still think that this was partially successful experiment. If I were to do this in the future, though, I would use bigger noodles with a flat base and a flat top like this, and then I'd probably make the hole bigger on the top, but then have this really sealed and use a bigger container with more hydrogen peroxide and yeast in it to create more of an effect. I hope you enjoyed my experiment. Thank you.